Hi, this short clip is a preview of a 50-minute DVD that will be completed in full if a damaged flash drive is restored. I hope this will be possible. Meanwhile, here's a sample of what the DVD, when completed, will look like, and I draw your attention especially to the part towards the end, um, citing the volunteerism of many of our retired physicians. Again, thanks to all who participated. Bye.
Action!
And good afternoon. I'm going to be the moderator of this group, and it's mainly going to focus on the OBGYN section in Grossmont Hospital. Henry McGuire has been the grandfather of all of us here, and
He's been busy.
And I will introduce myself with my short background. I graduated from the University of Wisconsin Medical School, then went to Madison General Hospital for my internship, went into the Air Force, and when I was in the Air Force, the Air Force sent me to Brooke Army Hospital for a year of training in OBGYN. And after I was in the Air Force, while I was in the Air Force, I was then sent to various Air Force installations. And after 5.5 years, I left the Air Force and came to Mercy Hospital and had a combined residency at Mercy Hospital and the then County Hospital of San Diego. So I'm going to let Henry introduce himself.
Yeah, I'm Henry McGuire, and I graduated from the University of Maryland. I saw Uncle Sam, then started in Huntington, West Virginia at St. Mary's Hospital. And then I went to the Margaret Haig Maternity Hospital in Jersey City. And I was 6 months short of meeting so I came out to Mercy Hospital and finished the year of OB-GYN at Mercy. Then I got recalled back in the Navy, and then when I got out of there, I decided to settle in San Diego.
Martin?
Yeah.
Martin Greenberg.
Marty Greenberg, yes. I did my medical training in New York at New York University and graduated there. And then did my internship at Bronx Municipal Hospital in New York. And then Uncle Sam called, and I spent 2 years in the U.S. Air Force in Mississippi. And while there, it was a very small base in Greenville, Mississippi. It was an air training command, pilot training. And there were 6 MDs for the whole base. And there was one fellow ahead of me who had 1 year of OB-GYN, who was the chief of the department. And then he left after 6 months and left me as chief of the department. He taught me how to do saddle blocks, and he taught me how to call for help. That was his biggest thing, because there were 2 civilian consultants in Greenville, Mississippi that I called out for complicated cases. From there, when I finished my military obligation, I did my residency at Long Island College Hospital in Brooklyn.
Well, actually, I started practice December the 1st, 1953. And at that time, to get a practice going, you did it on your own. There were no groups. I mean, there were groups, but most of the time the guys started out on the road. Grossmont opened in '55, and that hospital really did a very wonderful job between specialists and general practitioners. They would have 1 year, a general practitioner be chief of staff, and the next year, a specialist would be chief of staff.
And then we had one of our close colleagues, Dick Philpott, who went to Chicago, I believe it was,
Yeah.
and looked at the facilities in Chicago for the LDR rooms. And that was Dick Philpott, who was probably most instrumental in starting the Women's Center, where we had all our surgical units and all our labor and delivery individual rooms, labor delivery postpartum, and had all our cesarean section and all our GYN operating rooms. And we hired a person by the name of Tom Key at the time, and Tom Key was our first perinatologist. So that really put Grossmont, I think, on the map.
Well, I'll see what hasn't been touched. My first impression when I came out in 1962, I came from New York City, and I came to San Diego, and I said, wow, what a change. This was wonderful. I mean, it was so beautiful, and not only the weather was great, but it was so easy to get around. I remember there was a freeway out on 8, and I took the freeway. I could get any place in 15 minutes, I remember, and there was hardly any traffic at all. And I think the one thing I remember that was best coming from New York was I'd go into a restaurant or someplace and have a drink or something, and they come and said, would you like some more coffee? And I said, oh, how much will that be? And he said, it's free, it's free. In New York, everything costs, you know, and they never offered you another drink. You know that in Jersey probably was the same thing. Anyhow, then I remember coming out and seeing Grossmont for the first time, as Ed said, a beautiful building out there, so one simple little building out there with grass all around it, with rabbits on it. And I used to go out on Sundays also. My daughter, Laura, who went into medicine afterwards, I used to leave her by the nursery window because she would look at all the babies all the time, and I'd make my rounds, or else leave them at the switchboard. And there were switchboard operators.
One day earlier than the headlines brought, so Grossmont Hospital was the first hospital that had Rogam administered to the patient in the San Diego County.
How long was a patient in the hospital for a mother for a birth then?
I think it was about 5 days,
Yeah.
and then we reduced it to 3 days. And I can remember Gaylord Parkinson saying, "What do you want to be sued?" You know, when it went to even lower than this period of time. So.
Well, there's one more thing I didn't mention, and that was the prepared childbirth that started. It started coming out about 1962, 63, someplace around that. And Grossmont was actually the first. El Cajon Valley Hospital was the first hospital, I think, that I'm aware of that allowed husbands in the delivery room if they took a course in Lamaze preparation. But Grossmont also, after about a year or so, I think it was, did start allowing that. And I remember everybody saying, you know, watch out, you're going to get sued. There was never any suits at all, and it was accepted, though many of the physicians, OBs, were very scared of doing it. But I did start doing it together with Catherine Carson, and we never had any problems with it. Then after a while, everybody started getting into doing it.
So we've 67.
Dave Collins, the retired pediatric surgeon. I can echo everything that's being said about the friendly atmosphere at Grossmont and the doctor's lounge, and the excellence of the nursing here, especially in the neonatal ICU. So I started in '65 and enjoyed my time working at Grossmont.
I remember delivering the baby with an omphalocele that you came to Grossmont for and put a big plastic sheet, and that was tightened up so that the skin of the abdomen would cover and brought in. I remember that.
Well, I'm John Bishop, a retired pediatrician. I came here in '51 and started downtown San Diego, and in 1960 I moved up to Alvarado the day they opened their freeway. And I practiced at Grossmont along with Sharp and Mercy and every other little podunk hospital was in existence. At that time, there was an open staff everywhere, and we covered the entire county, including La Jolla.
Marty, before this ends, would you say something about the volunteers in medicine, the retired docs that are?
If we have time?
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah, 5 more minutes.
Volunteers in Medicine is a non-profit organization that was organized on the East Coast originally, and it's nationwide, though there's only, I think, 2 or 3 clinics on the West Coast here. We have one in San Diego here in El Cajon. It's on East Madison Avenue. We take care of patients who have no insurance, basically, at all, and that means no Medi-Cal or Medicare or any insurance, private or public. And we treat patients in the East County, only in the East County right now, which is excellent. But we take a lot of patients that would normally end up in the emergency room at Grossmont, and so we do take a big drain off of Grossmont Emergency Room.
Are you covered by malpractice insurance
Yes,
out there?
we're covered by malpractice, federal malpractice. We're covered under military insurance as part of a federal employee. So anybody who is interested in doing this, you can contact Maureen Harton, who is the CEO of the thing.
Bill, I just wanted to say that the patients from clinics, such as what Marty was describing, come to Project Access San Diego, run by the foundation, Legislative Foundation, for their specialty care. So we're very aware of that kind of clinic.
Project Access.
Project Access San Diego.
However, there's a problem with Project Access is that they don't provide GYN surgery at all, except for minor surgery, basically. And there's no place we can get somebody to have a hysterectomy through the medical
Well, we
society.
do some, but...
Well, I have not been able to find any for our patients.
Well, and you know the problem is the hospital.
I know, it's the hospital. I can find doctors who are willing to do it for...
We have lots of wonderful GYN volunteers.
I've already talked to many physicians that just admit them and I'll take care of them. But
very frustrating.
It's not that easy to do in the hospital, really.
But we still do what you do. We keep people out of the ER. And we
Gentle
save
people,
money.
this is the best one that I've attended in terms of the interaction between the audience and the presenters. And I think we all owe you a great debt of gratitude. Thank you.